Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Seoul and another episode in our Disney discography where I look at every single film put out by Walt Disney Studios, starting from the classic, starting from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, all the way out to whatever the latest hot film is in your area. Today, the film we were talking about is Dumbo, which was, I think, their fourth film. I'm actually doing this one a little bit after the fact. I thought I made my video for Dumbo, but I guess it slipped my mind. So I'm going to come back, refresh my brain on the film, and now I'm ready to get it out of my to-do list. So Dumbo. This film, it was not following. It's weird because Disney obviously has a formula, especially nowadays, and so it's cool to see like where they were in that in-between time before they had that formula. There was the first couple movies, then there was like Fantasia. You know, I don't think Fantasia made a bunch of money, so it's like, okay, let's try this one, let's try a bunch of different things, and eventually they stuck to what they made the most money with. But Dumbo it has a couple of the tropes and cliches. We have like an animal sidekick, but there's no princess, there's no like some of our traditional story values about love and whatnot. It's a mother-son bond that's carrying this film through. And, you know, Dumbo is a character who mainly doesn't even talk throughout the entire film. I don't think he talks at all, really. And people, like, you know, everyone knows Dumbo flies and it has that, like, that imagery is ingrained in everyone's brain. But how little in this film does he do that, you know? And it's one of those stories about, oh, your differences make you more special and you can use that to your benefit. I always love those stories. I'm never gonna complain about those. But I did not know what to expect going into this because I knew very little about Dumbo. So I got this story where there's a baby elephant born into the circus, and he was immediately an outcast due to his large ears, and his mom was protecting him, but she eventually gets locked up, separated from the other elephants, and he is a total outcast. There are these female elephants in the group that are just fucking assholes. Like, the worst people I've ever had to I've had to meet via cinema. But they basically bully him into becoming friends with this animal. I think his name was Timothy. What was it? Something like that. This small little mouse. He's probably the same as every other small mouse character. And there you go on a lot of other adventures. There's this part of the film where there are characters getting drunk, and that just goes on this weird, trippy, I don't even know what the fuck it was. I loved it. I don't think it was right for this film. Like, I'm happy it exists. It was just a little bit random to be in this film for children. But, you know, very different time that when this came out. You were able to just experiment and fucking... You know, they just got done with Fantasia. They're like, oh, let's just do one more. You know, I get it. It just didn't make sense for this movie. But I liked it. It was one of the most colorful things in this movie. Other than that, there's a scene where Dumbo's learning to fly, and we have these crows who are obviously supposed to be like black people. It's very obvious they have... when I looked on Letterboxd, the actors didn't look black, but they only had pictures for like one guy. But very obvious black accents, and the way they're dressed and everything. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's racist. Like, this film came out in the 40s. They easily could have thrown some fucking racist ass bullshit in there and got away with it. But, you know, that doesn't just because you're portraying anamorphic black characters doesn't mean you're racist. If you portray those characters in a super stereotypic way, borderline racist. If it's an offensive, like they're doing things that are insults, then yeah, that's racist. But these characters and these crows are all fucking pretty badass. I like them. They're all just kind of very smooth. They're dressed nice. They're helping Dumbo fly. They don't do anything negative, and sure, pretty stereotypical the way they're making them, but I don't think they meant to be offensive. They just are just pulling from whatever is in their brains. They're just pulling characters out of there. That's what they got. I don't think it was some I would put it by movie, but it is what it is. Probably not going to be some characters you see them making plushies for nowadays. But it is what it is. But the film, other than that, I really enjoyed Dumbo's relationship with his mom. There's some very touching scenes. There's one real moment they like wrap their trunks together, and it was like the warmest fucking feeling in your stomach, where you're just like, it was so touching. Apart from that, there isn't a whole lot to this film. The ending is a little bit, you kind of expect it, but it's still it's one of those feel-good, endings. He's literally just raining. Well, if you see the film, you know, but spoilers, he's raining fucking, like, what was it, on top of the female elephants who were talking shit about him. He's just flying around, throwing shit at him. I was just like, God damn, Dumbo, you don't play no games. I got you. But it's a children's film made in the fucking 40s, you know. It's not my kind of movie. It wasn't made for 2018 fucking 21-year-old over here. But at the same time, classic cinema, for a reason. These films exist and are still watched today for a reason. People love these films for a reason. This one, I'm personally just kind of, lukewarm about. I want to say I definitely liked it better than Pinocchio. I think I liked it better than Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And did not like it nearly as much as Alice in Wonderland. And I think that's where I stand on that one. Apart from that, not a whole lot of other characters in the film. The circus people, they move very animated. That's very interesting. Seeing Disney, because nowadays it's very personified, very clean, polished, and it's CG now anyway, so the way the characters move in this is completely different, and you're not going to see characters move like this unless you're watching, like, I want to say like a cartoon show, but not even that even nowadays. It's just so animated and so, like, wonky and over the top. Like, obviously it's not realistic, but it's very, like, you're not gonna see the cartoonish, I don't know how to explain it. They move like cartoons, and you don't see that anywhere nowadays. So it's good to see stuff like that. Dumbo himself, like, I enjoy his story, but he's not like a character. He doesn't say things. He's not, he's obviously exhibiting emotions and reacting to things, but nothing makes him stand out. His design is, just a basic kind of elephant, but you still connect with him. You still, like, feel for him. You go through the emotions with him, and when it's his time to shine, you're like, fuck yeah. And it's just this beautiful feel-good moment. Not a whole lot of humans in this film, though. Like, whenever there was humans, like even the circus people, they were kind of, like, shadowy. I thought that was an interesting choice, because I didn't like all the other films, Pinocchio and Snow White, they just showed them all day. But there was definitely a focus on the animals in this one. Oh yeah, I also watched Bambi, so I don't know if I like Bambi or Dumbo more. I think I'm tied on those two. I think that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to give a Dumbo a 7 out of 10. I thought it was good. You know, again, these films are not catered to me at all, and they're part of a generation that I'm not a part of, not nearly a part of, but it is interesting to go back, and I still ended up enjoying it, so that's just incredible it's able to do that at all. So, anyway guys, thank you for watching as always. I'll see you next time, and until then, with that, I leave you.